go over this last chart. Okay, so foo, it states here that it uses T0 and S0, but also remember that it uses one argument. And that was also called from something else in the same way. And then foo will call bar, which uses these registers on top of two arguments. So how might the stack look like in the sequence of calls? So let's say we're in foo, and okay. So given what you know about what you need to say, calling conventions and everything, what will you need to say when you start out at foo, when you're at the top of the function? You need all this stuff. What will you need to say? Okay. Anyone have an idea what the first thing you might want to say?
S0.
S0.
This is it, return just for you.
Stays in the return this. Okay, yeah, you can. Yeah, that's. So I'm still a little confused. Yeah, okay, it says 0. And then what are some of the other ones? There's only a handful of those. T0? Yes. What else? There's two more important ones. A0, yes. The interesting thing is that this A0 is not being saved for main, right? It's being saved before you call bar, because foo itself is using A0. It has its own argument. We don't necessarily know if it's going to use it after calling bar, but to be safe, this is something that it could possibly do. There's one more. RA. Yeah, it would go over here. I mean, it could go anywhere. It needs to be in the prologue. But then one last one is the V. Why is this? So it's not because it needs to save its own V0 necessarily, because oh, that's right. So actually, it is in case foo is operating on its return, but then if it calls bar, bar might change it. So this is for itself. Okay. And then
Do you always need to say V0?
not always. You have to look in the context of your code. Yes.
Wouldn't foo call bar before it ends? So then it can just override the V0.
Yeah, so that's the scenario, right? So it's that foo is calling bar.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's actually the exact case why we would want to save V0 before calling bar.
Can't foo uses bars V0, and then after it uses bars V0, it just overrides it. It sets V0 equal to something else.
Right. Yeah. So you're right in that, like, when bar is operating on the V0, it's the same register. It's that if bar is used, it has its own distinct value. Like we said, if bar is going to use its V0, then it's up to the caller. So actually, I should state which ones. I think these two are the prologue, and these are like right before calling bar. Okay, and then for when we go into bar, which one would you be saving? So of course, as the prologue is defined, we'll be saving the RA, and then which are the really important ones that I'm saying right now? It's the one that has to be here, T. Yeah, it's the S registers. So all the ones that it's going to use, you're going to want to save those. S1. And then what else? So remember, it uses the T registers. It also has 2 arguments, and it says that bar might also call a few other functions. So what do we need to save before it calls those other functions? Think about this. It's really similar to this. Anyone have any ideas?
Argument.
2 arguments.
Yes, the arguments. It's going to want to save this. So these are the prologue. It's going to save the arguments A0, A1. Which are the other ones? D0, yes. It's going to be returning value. Then what other one? T0. Yeah. Well, the T, whatever T register is. Yes.
What do you mean by prologue?
So that's stuff that you do at the very beginning of a function. It's kind of I can show you that slide. It's when you add or you decrement the stack pointer and then you put stuff in the stack. Yeah, so it's basically this part. These are the things that you're kind of guaranteeing to the caller that are gonna be preserved after this function is done. So that's the RA and the S registers. Yes.
Are we not saving V1 on purpose?
Yeah, so I guess here we're assuming that we're only using one return. Yes. Yeah, it's not static specific. Okay. All right. So why don't you guys work on the translation part 4 briefly? It could just be normal practice with the midterm. Yes.
So is bar saving like S0 and S1 before it uses them?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, the prologue that happens before anything happens because these need to be preserved. If bar is using these, the previous values of S0 and S1 have to be returned to the original value after the function is done. So like the epilogue will bring this out of the stack.
Okay. And then for like when you're storing A0, is that for the arguments for the function that's about to be called?
You're saving this, so this is all within bar. You're saving bars A0 and A1 because it will be calling other functions that may be using these ones.
So, like, just to clarify, the prologue is a definite while the calling things are maybe if the other functions is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's function dependent.
Okay.
It's like whether you're gonna use these after your function, because if you're done with them, then you can just let the other function hover however they like.
For the first one, why does it use stack for the one use stack?
You don't.